How's it going, guys? TFF back with my weekly power rankings after the Week 2 games, which just ended last night with the Green Bay Packers defeating the Detroit Lions. At number 32, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who had a little bit of a miserable performance against a Denver Bronco team who is surprising a lot of people. Sticking with Jacksonville, not a great offensive showing from Trevor Lawrence and the squad there. James Robinson's tried to get involved a little bit more, didn't really work out, and not a great defensive performance. All around, not a very good team at all. Next, you got the New York Jets, who could have been lower because they only put up 6 points against the Patriots. Uh, Off performance by rookie quarterback Zach Wilson, had a terrible performance. Mac Jones looked good, although not a lot of touchdown passes. I don't think he even scored one. Just looks like a solid O from the Patriots, but the Jets could not stop them at all and could not put together an offense. At number 30, we got the Detroit Lions. They seemed like they were getting close and keeping it close for a little bit, but Jared Goff fumbled, threw a pick. It was just not a good look towards the end of the game. T.J. Hawkinson looking very, very good. DeAndre Swift getting involved, but the offensive pieces can't make up for poor game plan and poor defense. At number 29, Atlanta Falcons, who put up a decent fight, I would say, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, turned into a little bit of a shootout, but they ended up losing by 13 points. Their defense still looked horrendous for most of the game. Offense had some bright spots. Calvin Ridley finally getting a little bit more involved, but all around not a great team in general. Number 28 is the Chicago Bears, who won against the Cincinnati Bengals, but I wasn't too impressed with their performance. I think when Justin Fields came in, a lot of things changed. Allen Robinson dropping maybe a 40-yard touchdown pass going right through his hands was not good. I think that they have the chance to move up the list quickly if they can continue to perform consistently, but this was an overall decently solid win for the Chicago Bears. At number 27, you got the New York Giants putting up a very entertaining performance on Thursday night against the Washington football team. They were just entertaining team. Their offense looked quite good. Daniel Jones looking good. However, that defense cannot hold, and Washington came back to win that game with their last game-winning field goal. And I think that New York can move up the list as well if they can be as consistent as they were offensively as they were in this game. 26, we got the Houston Texans and Tyrod Taylor really looking impressive, but the reason why they haven't moved up further on this list was because of the loss to the Browns and as well as Tyrod Taylor getting injured. I think that they performed well when he was in the game, but he's going to be out for a few weeks. So I do think that it's going to be a few losses on the board for a Houston team that doesn't have their starting quarterback. At 25, a team that is lost again, and that's the Cincinnati Bengals. I still have lots of faith in this offense. Mixon did not really get involved as much as I expected. Gala touches wasn't very effective with it. Burrows look good, and the wide receiving core looks good. I think this team can still do damage even if a slow start to the season. At 24, Indianapolis Colts had a tough game against the Rams. Just looked like an average team all around, although they put up a good fight towards the end. Carson Wentz being out is going to hurt them, and they're just an average team. At number 3, Minnesota Vikings. They put up a good fight against the Cardinals, and I think they're a little bit low. If they can start putting together some wins, they'll be quite high. I'm really a big fan of their offense. Jefferson, Thielen, Dalvin Cook, and Kirk Cousins looking pretty good this season. I think they have a chance to move up pretty rapidly. 22, Washington, not a very impressive performance against the Giants. Defensive line still looked good, but defense in general wasn't great. I think that they can still make the playoffs and do some damage. However, I do think that they're a team that could move up in the coming weeks, but not a great performance so far. 21, Carolina Panthers, amazing performance against the Saints. Really did well, and if they can keep up this consistency, they'll definitely move up the list. But I think that Kamara having an off game really affected the scoreline there. At number 20, New England Patriots, they beat up on a terrible Jets team. I don't think I can move them too much higher or lower just based on that performance. Number 19, Philadelphia Eagles. That was a tough defensive and offensive performance from them. Jalen Hurts had 2 touchdown passes called back. Not great, but I think that if those touchdown passes came off, that we do talk about a different story. I still have lots of faith in this team. At number 19, they could move up. Number 18, Dolphins. I see this team falling. Tua not looking great. Obviously getting injured, and their defense not looking too amazing against that Buffalo offense, allowing 35 points and also getting shut out. I think they could move down if Tua does not get back soon. Number 17, Dallas Cowboys. They had an interesting performance against the Chargers, very close game. I think they did perform pretty decently when it came down to it, and I think that they still have a chance to win the division, but I might favor the Eagles currently. Number 16, New Orleans Saints, after an amazing performance against the Packers, they really put up a dud this week. I don't think that's really reflective of them, so they moved down a little bit in the list, but look for them on the way up. Number 15, the Tennessee Titans. Wow, what a comeback! Derrick Henry just led the way. AJ Brown and Julio Jones were getting involved, but I think that was Derrick Henry's show. If they can continue to put up offense like that in the second half, they'll be much higher on the list. But it's just the consistency has not been shown yet. Number 14, LA Chargers put up a great fight against the Cowboys and have looked good this season. I think they're an average team in the middle pack. Number 13 is a surprising one, Denver Broncos. They have looked very, very good so far early in the season. Teddy Bridgewater has been looking quite good. Melvin Gordon's looked good. Cortland Sutton had an amazing game. I think overall it's going to be an interesting season for them. Continuing on now, past the Denver Broncos at number 12, Pittsburgh Steelers had a rough performance against a team that's on the come up, the Las Vegas Raiders, who we'll get into quite soon, actually. Najee Harris scoring his first touchdown. Big Ben still not looking that convincing. Defensively, they were all right. I think that 12 is a good spot. At number 11 is the Las Vegas Raiders. Derek Carr has been looking fantastic this season. Max Crosby has been looking great. Darren Waller couldn't really get involved in the game. However, I don't think that's going to be the case very often. He's an elite talent. Overall, I think that Las Vegas is a team to look out for. Number 10, Arizona Cardinals has MVP caliber quarterback currently, Kyler Murray, who is my favorite to win MVP. DeAndre Hopkins looking good. All around just a solid team. Number 10. Number 9, Green Bay Packers. They really recovered from their tough start. Aaron Jones scoring 4 TDs. Aaron Rodgers looking good. They didn't beat the best team in the Detroit Lions, but it's a solid enough performance that you should be optimistic about them. Number 8, San Francisco 49ers. Impressive performance for sure. I definitely do think that they have room to grow, but all around, I think that the 8th place is pretty good, beating up on a Eagles team that struggled. Number 7, Seattle Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are definitely a good team, although they choked this week. I don't think that's representative of them on the season, and DK Metcalf did not have a great season, a great game at all. Tyler Lockett looking like the number 1 receiver there currently. Number 6, Cleveland Browns. Although they did struggle, they beat the Texans. Nick Chubb looked very good. I think that they're still one of the best teams in the AFC. Number 5, moving up above the Cleveland Browns now, is the Baltimore Ravens after beating the Kansas City Chiefs. I do think that it was very fortunate that they won because of the fumble. However, you can't take away that they matched their offense pace for pace with the Chiefs. Definitely a solid looking team, and if Lamar can keep that up, he might be an MVP caliber form. Number 4, Buffalo Bills, strong comeback win, shutting out the Miami Dolphins. Looking decent offensively. Josh Allen and Zach Moss being big contributors on offense. I think they can repeat what they had last year if they can just keep up this performance. But they're facing a tough Washington defense next week. Number 3, LA Rams looking very convincing again. Matthew Stafford looking great. Cooper Kupp looking great. Darrell Henderson, although getting injured, was also looking great, and that defense is elite. Number 3 is a solid place for them. Number 2, moving down from the number 1 spot, is the Kansas City Chiefs. You just can't lose that game being up 11 with such an explosive offense. I understand that they were in field goal range when Allaire fumbled, but still you can't lose that game, so they moved down the list. Number 1 is the Tampa Bay Bucks. Not the greatest strength of schedule, however, they continue to win games. Tom Brady continues to look very good. Not much you should worry about on that front, and I think that they're the number 1 team this season.